What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you another World of Tanks gameplay commentary. It's the main reason you come to my channel, and we are definitely into the 9.3 replays now, aren't we? I know I'm still catching up here. 9.4 has been out for a couple weeks, but hopefully I'll be getting to those replays very shortly, and hopefully they'll be on my channel very shortly as well. But right now we have standard battle on Fisherman's Bay, as if there's any other sort of battle on this map, and it's a replay sent in from 228, part of the Anvil clan and a regular submitter to my channel. He's playing his M41 Bulldog, and he did tell me he just got this vehicle when he played this match. It's barely even upgraded. He used free XP to get some of the modules, upgraded, and so as you can tell, he's cruising along just fine. Scout tanks definitely take a little bit higher caliber of player to play well. Anyone who's played a scout tank before knows that in order to do effective in one, you've got to kind of treat it like a medium tank in a sense, but at the same time abuse the fact that you are smaller and that you also have a good on-the-move camo bonus, especially if your crew has a camo skill. It's very easy. Crashing into that building a little bit. He did tell me he sucked at driving a little bit in the beginning, so hopefully he'll be able to recover from that just fine. Taking a snapshot at that LKMX, unfortunately missing, but still, nothing, I mean, early game mistakes, they're forgivable, right? As long as nothing too bad happens from them. Now, there is a medium tank who decided to blitz up the center. It's going to be a tier 7 Comet, so nothing too significant for a loss of the enemy team. He was just trying to be a little bit ballsy there and try and spot the two artillery vehicles on 228's team. And it looks like artillery trying to get a shot off at that scout tank. You know, artillery does have a tendency to prioritize scout tanks because artillery recognizes how large of a threat scout tanks are to their existence. It's a true fact. Anyway, being an artillery player myself, I have played quite a bit, and yeah, I definitely have been victim to many a scout tank in my day. Looks like this enemy WZ trying to fall back and engage, but at the same time, RNG and just the fact that 228's not quite managing to get the shots he needs. This T28 prototype, I'm sorry, it's just a regular T28. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let's see if I can just stop sucking at commentaries right now, but 228 doing the very standard thing. Ooh, clearly having a zoom out mod installed. Now that's very useful. I'm not quite sure, I don't believe, no, actually, I do know that it has not yet been declared any sort of illegal sort of cheat or hack by Wargaming staff. As far as I know, last I checked, they did say that was fully within the realms of fairness for this game. Now, what's his actual penetration? So he is using the 150 and the 175. So this is, okay, for those of you who do not know, the Bulldog has two upgraded tier 7 guns. There is this one, which is a regular reload sort of fire and weight. And then it also has an autoloader with a 10-round drum. Both of them have the same average damage and the same penetration, and it basically comes down to playstyle. Personally, I would probably be rolling with this gun on the regular. It's easy to just exposing its nice big size armor, that Jumbo Sherman, really not using its frontal armor to any sort of effectiveness. And it looks like 228's team doing rather well for themselves at this point, 4-2, and a lot of his forces are in the city, so it's really up to them to take that. Not too much of the enemy team looking like they've really been spotted in the city, although they're probably just hanging back at this point. There are quite a significant force of them, but not too much has been spotted down the 1-2 line either. That's good for both teams considering there is nothing really there for either of them. So it makes the city battle a little bit more interesting. The fact that on Fisherman's Bay, the meta has really been playing a little bit differently. Most of the time, you do not see this large of a force in the city anymore, at least not in the games I've been getting lately. And I guess that's just a reluctance of players to want to get stuck and become arty bait. Like right now, that Lo or Love, however you want to say it. The Love is kind of closer to the actual pronunciation. It's German. I'm not German. I do not speak German. I know. So I am probably butchering the actual pronunciation, but still, right here, 228 getting good side shots, utilizing the fact that he really does need to get those side shots, despite the fact, you know, it's 175 penetration with an APCR round, so it actually is pretty good, especially for a tier 7 vehicle. I mean, consider the fact that the IS, a tier 7 heavy tank, only has 175 penetration, so he's on par with that, and that's an AP round, as opposed to this, which is an APCR round, so APCR is more effective than armor piercing. And it's one of those factors of, for a scout tank, it actually packs a lot of punch. It plays a lot like the T-71 in a sense, although the T-71 is a bit more mobile and can outmaneuver the Bulldog, but the Bulldog definitely has a bit more of a brawling capacity in the fact that it isn't reliant on a 6-round drum autoloader, whereas its autoloader is a 10-round. And, ooh, friendly Artie, a little bit of friendly fire there. Now, he does say sorry. 228 told me that he said sorry in the garage after the match, but still, that was Artie being a little bit unnecessarily greedy. Let's just call it greedy, because, I mean, that 112 was certainly dead. There was no chance of his survival, and still Artillery fired. Artillery trying to get what damage he could for the match just for his own personal performance. Now, this match is pretty much all but, the final nail in the coffin. 11-4. There is no chance of recovery, especially considering the enemy team only has 3 artillery vehicles and 1 Indian Panzer, so 1 medium tank as well, which is over there, way over in Kilo 2. And these artillery pieces gonna die very quickly here. Right here, the FB-304 acting like its usual TD self, and that's 1 and 2. So will he get the 3rd artillery kill? He's going to try. The S-51 taking a shot and missing. I'm wondering if he was using auto-aim, as so many artillery players do. I'll say, hey, I've done it too. Going TD mode, probably auto-aim is going to be your best bet. There we go, all 3 artillery kills. I believe there is an achievement for that, but all that remains is that Indian Panzer, who did manage to kill that T-34, that brother-in-arms player. I think that's what their clan stands for. I've seen them around on the server, but I never really looked into them. All I can say is they've never really garnered my attention, although I do believe I've seen Tank Guy 20 in a match or two. I don't know, I'm just good at recognizing names. Not remembering names, as opposed to, but I am good at recognizing things I visually see. I'm a very visual learner, and as well as a kinesthetic learner. But right here, this Indian Panzer looking like he's trying to get a ram kill, and will it happen? It kind of did, but that will give him kamikaze. The 5 hit points, barely surviving. The Indian Panzer almost getting the ram kill, but ultimately leading to his demise. I have to say, that was a pretty interesting end to that match, but very well played. Let's go see those post-game stats. And here we go with Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, as if there was any doubts. That's actually pretty impressive considering the fact that he had the vehicle for such a short time and he just happened to get in the right tank, the right match with the right circumstances, and played it well enough to where he could get himself Mastery Badge Ace Tanker. Over 4,000 damage done, and if you notice, this is on Quickie Baby as opposed to WoT Replays. Both websites are completely viable, but like I said, got himself kamikaze. Did get himself that Scout Award for spotting the vast majority of the enemy team. I think that's 9 or more enemy vehicles. Yep, at least 9. And high caliber, so it's not too often you see a scout get the high caliber award, as well as Top Gun. Pascucci's medal, there's the one for killing the 3 Artie, and Pool's medal for getting 10 to 13 kills. Really? He got 10 kills? I guess he did. He got 10 kills. I was completely not paying attention to how many of the kills in the match were his, but 10 kills, absolutely just decimating that enemy team. 47 shots taken, 35 for pens, and just a good amount of credits and experience earned. If he had been running premium, he would have earned over 2,800. Very impressive. So this is shortly after that 122-44 game where Never Aim earned just about the same amount. And very impressive overall. I really can't think of much else to say other than the fact that, man, just proving the fact that scouts can be played effectively, especially these new scout vehicles. The new scout vehicles, some are arguing, are just completely overpowered and need a bit of a nerf. Now, there's a lot of players who currently enjoy them and would rather be upset at that, but I mean, it's hard to argue with their performance as of late. They're usually doing very well in matches, especially in the hands of a competent player. And it's one of those things it's hard to argue against. But that's up for Wargaming to decide and eventually implement those decisions. I'm sure enough people are whining to where they probably are going to get nerfed. I mean, let's face it, that's how it usually happens in the game. If enough people are complaining, if enough of the baddies whine about something being overpowered, it's going to eventually get nerfed. But enough of that. Let's just call it at this and say, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. If you've got a replay, check the description below for instructions on how to submit. And if you've got suggestions on how I can make my channel or videos better, please put them in the comment section below, or if you just want to say hi in the comments, that's cool too. I guess I'll say hi back. And now someone's probably gonna post that. Yeah, I should probably. Anyway, this has been Spang, and I am signing off.